Hello guys, we will start our course of Organizational Behavior ABD 2103 with the Introduction to Organization Behavior in Chapter 1. We will start with the definition of organization. Organizations are social inventions for accomplishing goals through groups' efforts. This definition covers wide variety of groups such as businesses, schools, hospitals, fraternal groups, religious bodies, government agencies, and so on. There are three significant aspects in the above definition, which are social inventions, accomplishing goals, and group efforts. While in 2019, Stephen and Timothy has defined the organization as a consciously coordinated social unit composed of two or more people that functions on relatively continuous basis to achieve a common goal or sets of goals. Organizational behavior can be defined as the study of human behavior in organizational settings, the interface between human behavior and the organizational context, and the organization itself. Organization behavior reviews on the characteristics and behavior of employees in isolation. Second, organization behavior reviews on the characteristics and processes that are part of the organization itself and the characteristics and behavior directly resulting from people with their individual needs and motivations working within the structure of the organization. Next topic is the historical development of organization behavior. Next is the historical development of organization behavior. As other evolution of human civilization, a systematic approach to management and organization did evolve and were transmitted to others. But primary influences of in organizations and management today stem from more recent events, mainly the Industrial Revolution era. The origin and the evolution of organizational behavior. It started with the scientific management approach. The scientific management approach was developed by Frederick Winslow Taylor in the beginning of the 20th century. This theory supported the use of certain steps in scientifically studying each element of a job, selecting and training the best workers for the job, and making sure that workers follow the prescribed method of doing the jobs. This provided a scientific rationale for job specification and mass production. His assumption was that employees are motivated largely by money. To increase output, Taylor advised managers to pay monetary incentives to efficient workers. But this theory was rejected and criticized by many employers and workers because they worried that the methods took the humanity out of labor, reducing workers to machines responding to management incentives. After that, the bureaucratic approach. The theory's most prominent advocate, Max Weber, proposed a bureaucratic form of structure which he thought would work for all organizations. Weber's idea of bureaucracy was logically rational and efficient. He made the naive assumption that one structure would work best for all organizations. Next is the Horton studies. In 1924, a group of professors began an inquiry into the human aspects of work and working conditions at the Horton's plant of Western Electric Company in Chicago. The findings of these studies were given a new name, which is the human relations. The studies brought out a number of findings relevant to understanding human behavior at work. Among them is that the human element in the workplace was considerably more important. The workers are influenced by social factors and the behavior of the individual workers is determined by the group. Horton's studies have been criticized too for their research methods and conclusions drawn, but their impact on the emerging field of organizational behavior was dramatic. Now let we see what is the fundamental concepts of organization behavior. Fundamental concepts or philosophical foundation of basic concept in organization behavior are divided into two, which are the nature of people and the nature of organization itself. Nature of people is focuses on employee. Individuals are different in their physical and mental traits. They are different not only physically, such as gender, age, height, weight, complexion, and so on, but also different in their physical traits, such as intelligence, attitudes, motivations, personality, needs, and perception. This belief that each person is different from all others is typically called the law of individual differences. Individual differences means that the management has to treat them differently to get the best out of them. This diversity needs to be recognized and viewed as a valuable asset to the organization. Next is a whole person. Even though the organization may feel that they are employing only the individual skills or intelligence, they are in fact employing the whole person. This means that individual not only comes with a skill and intelligence, but also a personal life, needs and desires. In other words, his personal life cannot be separated from his work life since people functions as human beings. An employee's personal life is not detached from his working life. For example, a woman who comes into the office at 8:30 a.m. is always anxious about her children's school's hour, whether her children are able to attend the school or not. As a result, this impacts her concentration, which is her working life. For this reason, we cannot separate the two. Managers should be treat an employees as a whole person. If the whole person can be developed, these benefits will extend beyond the firm into the larger society in which each employee lives. Under motivated behavior, it is the urge of the individual to satisfy a particular need that motivates him to do an act. This motivation could be positive or negative. Motivation is essential for the proper functioning of organization. The organization can show to its employees how certain actions will increase their needs fulfillment. An employee has too many needs inside him and they want to fulfill those needs. That's why they need to perform well in the organization. Some motivations are needed to enrich the quality of work. A path toward increased need fulfillment is the better way of enriching the quality of work. Individuals' behavior is guided by needs and the consequences of actions. In the case of needs, people are motivated not by what others think they ought to have, but by what they themselves want. Motivating employees is essential to the operation of organizations and is the biggest challenge faced by the manager. Last is the human dignity or value of the person. This is more an ethical philosophy. It stresses that people are to be treated with respect and dignity. People want to be treated with care. dignity and respect, and increasingly they are demanding such treatment from their employers. They want to be valued for their skills and abilities and to be provided with opportunities to develop themselves. Every job, however simple, entitles the people who do it to proper respect and recognition of their unique aspirations and abilities. Since organization behavior involves people, ethical philosophy is involved in one way or other. An employee wants to be treated separately from other factors of production, such as land, capital, labor. They refused to accept the old idea that they are simply treated as economic tools because they are best creation of God. For this reason, they want to be treated with carrying respect, dignity, and other things from their employers and society. Next is the nature of organization. The nature of organization can be understood via social system and mutual interest. A system. A social system is a system of independent and interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. In contact with an organization, the individuals of a society are considered as a system organized by a characteristic pattern of relationship with a distinctive culture and values. It is also called social organization or social structure. Organizations are social systems and governed by social and philosophical laws. In organizations, people have social roles and status. Their behavior is influenced by their group's individual drives. Organization environment in a social system is dynamic and all parts of the system are interdependent. Next is the mutual interest. In order to develop the organization, the mutual interest of organizations and people is necessary. Organizations need people and people in return need the organization. Organization needs employees to reach its objectives and people need organization to help them reach individual needs and objectives. Mutual interest provides a superordinate goal, which is one that can be attained only through the integrated efforts of individuals and their employees. Organizational relationships are most likely to be strong if different groups can be negotiate strategies. These can be defined as the interests that are common to both the parties and are related to the accomplishment of their respective goals. This space for sharing ideas builds trust. Individuals who have shared mutual interests are likely to make their organizations the strongest because even though their views may be different, they still have a shared concern for similar objectives. It is important for the individuals to think about their issues openly and to incorporate the perspectives of their colleagues. This helps to build sustainable and harmonious activities that can operate in the mutual direct interest of the organization.